Conversations with Kenny.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another fantastic edition of Conversations with Kenni. It's great to be back on this wonderful day. Thank you for joining us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today promises to be exciting and fantastic because I have a fantastic, phenomenal young Nigerian in the business sector playing the game of business. His name is Tito Phillips Jnr. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Kenny. It's awesome to be here once again.
Yeah, thank you for coming back. The last edition we had, you gave us double dose. You gave us the one for business and the one for the entertainment people. So today we'll be talking business in Nigeria. While we're offset, I asked you a question about, is it Nigerian? Okay, let's talk about doing business in Nigeria right now. You know, this economy, the bass boost, everybody the feel. So how has it been for you, personally?
Okay, so generally speaking, nobody is exempted from the harsh economic realities that is currently prevailing in the country. So we are all trying to stay afloat. So the first hit is the purchasing power is low. So that means a lot of spending has dropped. So that also affects that our customers are business owners. So I am in the B2B space. So my customers are business owners, entrepreneurs. Those are the people I serve. So their spending budget has considerably dropped. So that means maybe a client that could have done one or two campaigns during the course of the year is now reducing their campaign to some smaller numbers. People that would have been more aggressive in their marketing are reducing their budget. So that's essentially what is happening. So generally everybody is trying to manage the few money in their disposition, and basically we're trying to also get new people to top up our customer base. So when that is happening, you need to go and look for more customers essentially to be able to now push on your business.
Yes, because I was asking you if you were to advise a young entrepreneur or a business owner watching this, how can they navigate the tough economic situation in Nigeria right now? Because some people believe the way to navigate it is to cut costs. But I don't believe in, yes, you can cut costs, but you also have to, it doesn't mean you won't spend.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you won't improve on or increase on your market. And I feel it's also the best time for you to be more aggressive with your marketing.
Okay.
You understand? But let me put it to you. What will be your advice? Someone is watching right now.
Okay.
What will be your advice to such individuals? We don't just want to give up, sell more business.
Okay, so first and foremost, when economy is tough, the first thing you have to do as an entrepreneur is to be double sure that whatever value you're presenting is making sense. So, because money tight, so what people would have essentially overlooked when they had so much money, they won't overlook it when they have less money to spend. So the question of the true value proposition of whatever you're selling comes to bear when economy is harsh. That's when people will carry magnifying glasses to look at that your proposal. That thing where you say you go really do them. So harsh economy is usually a true test of entrepreneurs. It's a true test of your product. It's a true test of your service. That is when we know whether you are truly offering something that is actually solving a real life problem, or people have just been helping your business based on, say, make you not go hungry. So that is when it becomes very, very clear. So the first test for you in an harsh economy is to double down on your product offering or your service offering. You have to be critically sure about what you're selling. And that thing you're selling has to be solving real life problems. Because people are not just going to spend money because they like you. They are going to be spending money to solve actual problems. So that's the first test. So if you have not done a good job in differentiating your product, if your product is like every other product or your service is like every other service, it will show clearly in an harsh economy. Your hands will open. Because at that point, what you are offering, 1,000 other people probably can offer it.
It's not a must-have.
It's not a must-have. So, and you're not clearly telling them why they should choose you. So that becomes an issue to actually make the sale. So that's the test for anybody. That's where I'll ask them to start from. So once you have been able to ascertain that you offer real value, the client is seeing the value that you offer, what you're bringing to the table, they need it, there's something they need, then it's easier for you to sell at that point. The consideration can now be whether you're going to offer a cheaper price or you're going to help them spread it over time. So cash is tight. So what you would have collected money at once for, you know that this time around you will spread it. So there's a client that we're currently working with. We want to help them develop a solution for their business to smoothen their operations. We know we're in a tight economy. So we have gone ahead to do our own study. They need it. We presented the solution. They loved it. Now the question is, we don't have money to pay him at once. What do? You spread the payment. So after you have passed your value check, you're sure that your product or service is needed and is unique.
Yeah.
That's one. The client will buy it. The second one is, do they have the purchasing power to pay you at once for that service? So that's where you now begin to play around the pricing options. Are you going to reduce your price? Are you going to still stay on your price and spread the payment? What they're supposed to pay at once, you can now say, okay, pay this initial deposit, then spread the other payment over time, because you know that money is tight. So those are the two things. The first thing is to be sure that you're selling something that is very, very tangible and solving real problems, because people are not just spending money anyhow. So if you just come out and say you have something you're offering and it's not really unique, people will not pay because cash is tight for them, So then the second thing is, okay, how do you now play around the cost of that particular thing? Are you offering some considerable discount? Are you going to give a flexible payment time? Those are the other things that you can use to now pull them to take action.
Fantastic. Let me ask you a follow-up question. So during harsh economic situations like this, people have different opinions about pricing. Some people believe, you mentioned that would you want to stay on your price? Some people believe they should reduce their price so people could fit afford them. Some people believe, but in your opinion, when it comes to pricing, how should pricing be done? Should you, because like you said, purchasing power is declining.
Yeah.
You self, your expenses they increase. And if you are making 1 million every month before, 1 million can do now is not 1 million you should do in the past.
True.
So what would be your advice in terms of pricing?
Okay. So in competitive strategy, Michael Porter is the king of competitive strategy. There are three key things he has identified to help in terms of being a competitive brand. The first one is service. Second one is quality. Third one is pricing. Now, pricing is deliberately number 3 because it's supposed to be the thing you touch last. The reason is very simple. Once you start playing the pricing game, you can price yourself out of the market. So you have to be very careful before you touch on price. Before you touch on price, first tackle those first two. Service, quality. Service has to do with the way a product or service is delivered. Quality is the actual level of the components of the product or service. That's what deals with quality. So I can have a shirt that would fade in 2 days and I can have a shirt that would not fade in 5 years. So what went into putting that product together is what determines quality. Yeah. So the raw materials, the production process and all of that. So those are the first two things you first play around with before you touch on pricing. If you jump on pricing very quickly, you can easily price yourself out of the market. So the only time you're supposed to touch on pricing is when you have the advantage to actually stay on a low cost. So you have to tell yourself that you have the competitive advantage. Is this scale that you have on your hand? So you can easily do what like a Dangote is doing. So you start the business and you go up scale. So because you have that economics of scale, you can be able to shrink the price down and you use your pricing, your low cost as an advantage. But if you don't have scale, you cannot begin to touch on price. So before you get into any pricing conversation with a client in this particular time, whether in a harsh economy, whether in a flourishing economy, I will first say deal with those first two first. So do a very good case of selling your service. Make a case for your service. Even though you're charging high, try as much as possible to communicate the value that comes with that your service delivery. So you can get this product at XYZ, lower than me, but they might not be able to give you the service that I'm offering you. Fantastic. So I deal with clients in the digital marketing space, and we do some web platforms for clients. So I tell them, nobody's going to give you 24-hour service free. You get that with us. So 24-hour service means at any point in time, you can basically just drop me a WhatsApp message in the group that we create for your project, or you can call me and I will answer it. Nobody's doing that in the whole world except you pay for that 24-hour service.
Why did you
so because that becomes our own advantage. Yes. So other people can answer you in 7 days, but if you work with Matt Phillips, we'll answer you in 24 hours or 48 hours. So answering you means we first listen to you that you have an issue. So when the turnaround to solve that issue now becomes either a 24 hours or 48 hours. So scale is what allows you to be able to play with price. Dangote came in with 4,000 trucks to be able to sell petroleum to us. He could crash the price. He has the scale. He's the biggest manufacturer of refinery of petroleum in the world now. He has the biggest capacity. He can play with price. That's scale. When you don't have scale, don't touch price. Stay in the middle. If you're arguing that you want to sell premium, then your premium must match the quality and the service that you deliver. So those are my advice, basically.
So you mentioned premium. Now that you mentioned premium, I'm even going off of the questions I was supposed to have. But you mentioned premium. There are people who don't have premium quality, premium packaging, premium mindset, but they want to attract premium markets. What would be your advice for someone who wants to scale in that area? They want to stop playing at the bottom of the rung of the market, and they want to start attracting what people say the 1% of the 1%.
So you cannot sell what you essentially don't have. Yeah, that's you want to scam people. So you that want to target a premium client, your product has to be premium. There's no two-way about it. So if you are at the lower end of the market, the first thing you have to do is up your product game, up your service game first. It has to match. If it does not match, those people will not pay attention to you. So essentially, you have to first have the product, and the product has to be quality or premium. So there are different ways to establish premium. The first one is the quality has to be second to none. If you are at the lower end of the market and you now just want to automatically go to the upper end of the market, you need some considerable investment to change your entire product to make it to become a premium product. So that is the first thing you need to do. You can't take a lower end product and now start saying you cannot just label premium on what is not premium, because you have a label, you just put premium there. It will not you get, so it's not as easy as that. So the first thing is the product has to be quality. So there's Toyota, there's Lexus, there's Mercedes, there's Rolls-Royce, there's Ferrari. So all of those things, when Ferrari is mentioned in all of these, what is the name, cars, you know what you get when you go for a Ferrari. So Ferraris are handmade. It's not machine that is making it. They can make 200 in a year, and that's all for the year. So that limited edition alone is telling you that this is why it's premium. So you can't just jump. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you want to move from the lower end to the upper end, there's considerable investment for your product. Your product has to make that premium mark. Otherwise, you can't just scam people.
Great, fantastic. Before we go on the short break, let me ask you a question about begging. So I've discovered that this kind of time, people, I'm not even an advocate of it. I think I once wrote about it that begging is not a marketing strategy. Because the moment when you start begging people, say, I'm gonna come by you, come to our studio, come and buy my book, or come and do business with Matt Phillips, or come and do business in Naijapreneur, it's basically just takes off that value of, it be like somebody just expose them.
Yeah.
But what's your opinion on? Do you think the economy is tight, purchasing power is tight, beg people, I'm gonna come patronize me, or what? Would you think begging is right?
So this is it, and I'm going to be very frank when I say it. You beg because what you're probably selling is not valuable enough. It's just as simple as that. You have not done a good job to cook a better product or a unique product, or that's it. Once you start begging, it automatically means that you are already selling yourself short. So I'm not a fan of begging, whether to buy your product or or services or for anything. I usually like to play from a place of strength.
Yeah, so what should they do instead of begging?
And so go and beef up your product or your service. Go and look for something that will make someone want to buy it. If you have not done a good job researching what the problem is for the customer, go and spend time to research what the problem is for the customer. If maybe your offering is limited, try to add more to your service or product offering. Make it more juicy for people to say no. So that helps your marketing. The moment people see what you're presenting and they can immediately identify with it, it makes your job easier. But if what you're selling is not real, that's why I started my talk from the beginning, that the product, this economy will expose your lapses. Because money is tight. So all those things you get away with when there's frivolous money to spend, you can't get away with it in a tight economy. It has to be very justifiable. Yeah. So that is the game now, because money is tight. So when you're telling somebody you need to come and do this, the person is asking you, okay, why should I do it? You are giving them reasons that are making sense. You have done your study to be sure to say, okay, this is why you need this thing. You have cooked a good product that people find value in. So that removes the begging. The next question will not be, I don't have the money to pay. It's no longer, do I need this thing? It now becomes, okay, I don't have the money to pay right now. So what do you do? Then, okay, don't worry, pay so percentage, spread the remaining one. So it's no longer a question of do they need it. It's not a question of they need it, but they don't have the money. They are now spreading payment. That's easier conversation to have. So you should not beg a customer to buy from you. They are not doing you a favor. The way business works is it is demand that is meeting supply.
Yeah. It's
an exchange of value. So the moment you start begging, then that means the dynamics is wrong. It's either you as the entrepreneur is below the person that you are trying to solve their problem, and you are now using sentiment to sell. It will not help you. It's better you know that, okay, I'm not qualified yet to sell to this person. Then let me go and do my own homework so that I'll be able to come out stronger and sell this person. Other than that, you should not be begging. It does not put you in a place of strength at all. At all, yeah.
Great. Don't beg. It does not put you in a place of strength. We're going on a short break. When we come back from the break, we'll be talking Naijapreneur. He's the founder of Naijapreneur. We'll also be talking about his new initiative. Stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
Media money.
Media money means.
Media money means.
Media money is.
And this book called Media Money.
Hi guys, welcome back from the break. This is the Conversations with Kenny, and we're here with us, Tito Phillips Jnr. Thank you for coming on the show. Let me ask you a question before we talk about your projects. Let me ask you a question. If you were a young Nigerian bro, possibly 21, like get money, and he wants to create wealth in this economy, what are the things you tell that individual? Like you don't have the resources.
Okay, so in 2010, was it no 2010 when I launched Naijapreneur for the first time, that's the same thing I would do. I had time, I didn't have money, so yeah, The question was, what was I going to do with my time? At that time, I had knowledge. I launched Naijapreneur.com, and I started sharing on a weekly basis my thoughts, my experiences.
Where did you start from? You started from Facebook?
I started from Facebook. I started from the website itself. I created a blog, Naijapreneur.com. Then whatever I shared there, I now shared it on my Facebook platform. So it was a weekly posting of articles or thoughts on business and entrepreneurship. That's the same thing I will do in 2026, except with a little twist. I will do it with video.
Fantastic, because some people say they apply.
Yes. That was what was raining then. That was the medium then. It gave me the visibility I needed. I was a young business consultant. I didn't have clients. So I needed to demonstrate my expertise. I didn't have money to go and do marketing or do billboard. So by publishing my ideas and thoughts about business, it was attracting people, because that time you just go to Google and search. Whenever you have problem, you go and search on Google. That was what was raining then. Social media was not an in thing back then. So people were coming to, I was making 30,000 hits on a monthly basis. That's 2010. The traffic, my articles were converted from Nigeria to Latin.
How were you? Wow.
Yeah, and they were sharing them to about 15,000 communities in Spain. Guardian gave me a full column on a weekly basis, free of charge. They will pick my articles from my website and they will publish what I publish.
Wow.
Free of charge. I was on Guardian, I was on Business World, I was on MoneyWise.
You were on MoneyWise?
Yes. And all of this came because I decided to be writing on a weekly basis.
How did you monetize it?
So that was it. So essentially for me, the monetization was from selling my consultancy services. So every time I talk about anything on the website, I basically will tell you, yes, contact me if you have this problem. So people contacted me. If it was for them to develop a website, I provided that. If it was marketing, I provided that. If it was sales training or public speaking, I provided that. So that was how I was making money. But off the website itself, I now started making money. People were now coming to pay me to advertise on the website because I was attracting a tangible number of traffic. So people will come and pay me. They want to do a guest post on the website. How much do I charge for guest post? I was charging $100. So if you want to publish any article on the website, I will charge you $100 for it.
How much was $100 then?
That was 160K.
Wow.
Back then, so that was good money. And that time, Nigeria was not even being accepted for payment, to receive payment. There was no pay stack, there was no Flutterwave back then. So I was using one of my friend's accounts in the US to accept those payments. So I had a lot of foreigners coming to pay me to put their content on the website. So that's essentially what I would do now. But I would do it with a twist. Like I said, video. Because video now is the in thing. So get your camera, stay in front of it, and start talking, start sharing.
There are a lot of videos out there.
And that's the thing. You have to now find a niche and how to differentiate your own video. And truthfully, these things will not happen overnight. Let nobody deceive you. I did not start making money in the first year. I did not start making those huge traffic in the first year. So you have to be consistent. That's why you don't have money. It's your time you're using to now attract this attention. So don't deceive yourself and say you do it 2 times and you are tired. No, you have to be consistently producing those contents. Consistently. And over time, it will now pan out. How will it pan out? Your consistency, the value of what you say, and how you also go about to hustle for your visibility.
And it's even much more easier in this age of social media because there's a way you can even, like you sold your expertise in those your articles. I remember those days I used to, inside the article, I would still talk about my expertise. I was coaching a client.
Exactly.
I was doing this. So in this, they will know this guy. Oh,
this is
guy,
what he does.
He's a business strategist. This guy is a, so. But what would you advise somebody who is not making money currently from that thing they are passionate about, say, talking about healthy living in Nigeria? The person has a medical background, but talking about it is not making money yet. Would you tell the person to get a side job, maybe work with an hospital, or to just hold on to?
So this is truthfully, if you're not earning money from any way, just get a job till the things start paying you, essentially, yeah, so that you need to be able to keep it going. And if you can't keep yourself going, you can't keep the content coming, so just get a job. If you cannot get a job, you don't have that level of authority yet, sell your services cheaper. So, for example, like the medical person you gave as an example. So, I'm going to be talking about this and this and this today on this particular thing. I want to offer 5 people free consultation immediately in my DM or on my WhatsApp call, and I'm offering it for 2,000 naira. Come, let me tell you whether your blood sugar is low or high. Let me offer something
They can even create a product.
Yeah, that is
like
very,
write an ebook.
Yes, 2K ebook,
right.
something that is very cheap, that would not even make them reason at all. That would give you some form of revenue immediately. You can try it out. You can say, okay, I want to launch a WhatsApp community, and I'll be giving you those tips. You get, and it's 1,000 naira for a year. You see how ridiculous it's sounding already.
Or you can even say 1,000 naira monthly.
You can say 1,000 naira monthly. So you just do something that is very ridiculous to enable people to now give you some money if you don't want to go and look for something from it. So that's what you can do to ensure that you still make something out of it. But in the case that you cannot at all, just go and get a job, something on the side that will be sustaining you while you build this platform. Platform building is not overnight. That is just the gospel truth. It will take you also, it will take you time. And what is tested when you're building platform is your consistency. That's what is tested. What is your staying power? How can you keep up the posting schedule? If you say you are going to be posting 1 per week, are you consistently posting that 1 per week? That's what is tested. So those are what will eventually help you to break into the market, because you never know the day that someone will pick one of those videos and it will now fly. You don't know the video that will fly. So you just have to keep on going. That's one. Secondly, the more you do, the better you get. So your very first videos are not going to be very good. You're not going to be as eloquent as you will be later on. Your editing, your cutting, all those things will not be good. Your camera. Do you understand? So by consistently doing it, you are refining your craft. You are refining your process. You are refining your content, and that is good for you. So those are the reasons why you don't give up in the beginning. You just have to keep on going. And going till you now break forth. So that's just it.
Fantastic. I love the way you answered the question. So before we round off the show, let's talk about your new project. Tell us about it.
All right. So currently now, for Naijapreneur, we just launched something very, very phenomenal. And it's called Mine 1000. So most of what we do in Naijapreneur and for My Media, my company that is the parent company for Naijapreneur, is built around this ecosystem of mine, made in Nigeria entrepreneurs. That's essentially what mine means, M-I-N-E. So we build a lot of projects, we build a lot of products, we build a lot of initiatives around that thing. So eventually we're going to have an ecosystem of products or brands that are built around it. Mindfest is one of them.
Yeah.
So Mine 1000 is the largest profiling of made in Nigerian entrepreneurs, what you would call the small business owners in Nigeria. So we want to flood the internet with 1,000 entrepreneurial stories every year.
Okay,
so this is an annual project. So over time, we have realized that there's a paucity, there's a scarcity of Nigerian entrepreneurial stories, especially those that have not yet broken into the limelight yet. And those are not what makes or build an economy. It's not only the superstars that should be celebrated, the money points, because they have hit $1 billion valuation, the flutter waves, all these people in tech and all of them, they seem to be the poster child for Nigerian entrepreneurship. So every other person that is not in that tech space or that is not a startup is looking like they are playing. That's one of the reasons why I relaunched Naijapreneur. I didn't like that because those are not the true narrative for the Nigerian ecosystem. We have 42 million SMEs in Nigeria.
Wow.
42 million.
42 million.
Yes. And we want a situation whereby people can see stories from someone that started with 100,000 and say, if this person that started with 100,000 is doing this thing, I can be able to also start my journey. So we want inspirational stories. We want to see stories of people that are already up there and they will tell you how they started from nothing and they were able to get up there.
Someone was up there that came down
and still built back up. So different facets of stories. That's why we took a very bold number to say, okay, 1,000. Nobody has done it before. The highest cohort of any entrepreneurship we have in the country is 100. Usually,
I've not even seen 500.
Yeah, there's no 500. The only person that is doing something for 1,000 is Tony Elumelu, and he's not even doing it for Nigeria alone. He's doing it for the whole of Africa. So this is a bold and audacious move. We want to flood the internet. We want people to be able to search for Nigerian SMEs, and they will just see 1,000 stories to be able to pick from. And what does that do for the ecosystem generally? It enables people to begin to see what goes on behind the scene. So what are the struggles of these entrepreneurs? By the time you hear 1,000 people tell you that power nearly killed their business, you will begin to see the impact of power in that sector. By the time you hear 1,000 people tell you that, okay, maybe lack of funding was part of what nearly killed their business, you begin to take all these things seriously. So one single noise echoed in 1,000 places begin to carry more weight. So beyond the stories, we are doing something too that has never been done before. We are also going to create a database.
Like a directory?
Like beyond the directory, a database of these entrepreneurs that tells these different pain points. So all of the stories, all of the pain points will become insights that enables people to see the struggles of entrepreneurs. So you can go there and do your research. You're looking for people that started maybe with 50,000 naira as their startup capital, and you see like 100 entrepreneurs spread across the country. And you say, okay, these people started with 50,000. How much have they been able to make from that 50,000 in the space of the years that they have been in business? You will see it. You'll be able to see, okay, how many of our 1,000 entrepreneurs are female? How many of them are within the ages of 25 to 30? How many of them came from Imo State? How many of them went to school? How many of them are married, are divorced? So all of these insights will come from those pool of stories. That's what we're going to do as an aftermath of it. And beyond that, we're now going to pick the top 100 stories at the end of the year and now award those people.
Now, what's the prerequisite?
So the prerequisite, one of them, we're going to have a voting on each of those stories over a certain period of time. So you go there, you as the entrepreneur that has told your story, you have to go and promote your story and seek for people to vote for you, you know. So that's one of the prerequisites for that. So then secondly, the stories that also have the highest traffic, we're also going to be, we're going to be monitoring the traffic per story. So you that have the highest traffic is also going to be another metrics for us to select the top 100. So those will now be awarded and celebrated. Then we'll go on to the next cohort in 2027.
Fantastic. So for people who want to be part of it now, what should they? Is there a website?
Yeah, so there's a website, Naijapreneur.com/mine1000, MINE 1000. Then beyond that, you can also follow our social media pages. That's Naija.preneur on Instagram, Facebook, Naijapreneur.com. You can follow and see the guidelines. There are 3 packages essentially. The cheapest is 50K. So 50K, you get your story out there. If you want a video version of your story, it's 150K. If you want the 2, you pay 200K. So that's essentially what you get. And it's maximum visibility. Beyond the website, we also are going to syndicate it across all our social media platforms. You get different postcards that you can use on your WhatsApp stories, your own personal stories, your Instagram. So you would also have enough content to also play around with.
Fantastic. Nigerian entrepreneurial stories needs to be mined.
Yeah, exactly,
It needs to be mined.
exactly.
It
I
needs to
like
be
that.
told. It needs to be
Yeah,
told.
it
I want
needs
to
to be
thank you,
told.
Mr. Tito. Thank you for coming on the show,
Awesome,
for
thank you,
these
bro.
gems. Thank you for, and we wish you all the best. With
Thank you so much.
Mine 1000. Is it
Yes.
1000 mine?
My 1,000.
Mine 1000.
Yeah,
We
the
wish you-
search for 1,000 Nigerian entrepreneurial stories.
Exactly. We wish you the best
Thank you so much.
in this laudable project. And thank you for watching. We'll be right back on same channel with another wonderful content. Keep living your dreams. God bless you.